We went out to eat, and he was like, "Do you want a bite?" And I went to take a bite. He's like, "No, not there, around there." And I was like, "Boy, you were eating my ass last night, and you worried about me taking a bite from the same spot as you?"
I've
like,
always that with people I'm hooking up with, like, why didn't we not share a toothbrush? Who cares?
Well, that's
Well, okay, now that's different.
That is disgusting.
I'm not saying regularly. I'm saying like one of us needs a toothbrush.
Yeah, but I'm not
eating out
brushing
like that
my
by the
teeth with your.
See,
I need to throw out my toothbrush because you was just at my crib. Like,
Were you using his?
yeah,
toothbrush?
I use this toothbrush.
Hey, hoes, my name's Crit,
I'm Tia.
Michael.
and welcome to Island Fever, where grown-ass Pacific Islanders talk about doing grown-ass things. And we've only been in 2 episodes, and y'all be taking it too far. I feel like
You have taken it the furthest out of any of us.
me. You talked about me having
You're
strong
like, I lost my
nick
virginity at
game.
18 and I'm busting it wide open ever since. I was like, oh, I haven't stopped thinking about that.
Oh,
not that
not you thinking about it. Damn, my
No, it was like that should have been HR.
Yikes,
I
no.
don't think we should ever use that as
So
the,
have you been
the
turned
term.
out? Have you ever been turned out?
Gaslight.
Jesus
Gaslight.
Christ.
Gaslight. What the fuck?
HR.
I'm the innocent one here.
So today we're talking about communication, and you know what does healthy communication look like to you? And I thought that, you know, going into Baywatch, a really good movie to kind of kick off the conversation is He's Just Not That Into You. So I don't know. Let's kick off with our thoughts. And Tia, ladies first. What are your thoughts?
This movie pissed me off. Or I was triggered. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I was triggered. I wasn't pissed off. My heart rate was up the entire time.
Well, I was pissed off, but yeah.
Okay. What made you pissed off?
Oh, homegirl Gigi, is that her name?
Gigi.
Gigi. Yeah,
Gigi.
see, I don't even. This is how much I hate her. I don't even want to say her
Okay,
name right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't really want to talk about the men. The men are just doing men things.
Oh,
You know, they're typical
my
man
God.
stuff.
Doing Michael shit.
This
yeah.
is why the movie pissed me off. Like, it was painting men as the ultimate bad guy. Women can do no
Not bad
wrong.
guy. I don't think bad guy. They're just doing their thing.
I think it was a very realistic
Charlotte Johansson
portrayal.
was doing her thing too.
You think women can do no wrong? I think that the women were reacting poorly in this movie.
Well, some of them were trash. Yeah, I feel like everybody was trash in this film.
Yeah, I mean, it's relevant. I think it's still relevant today, but I really do think that, like, I'll always be, like, supportive of women, but I also will always hold them accountable that we have to control our reactions.
Well, okay, reactions. I mean, that's like everything's acting on you. Like, you're
Right, it places the responsibility
on you.
The blame's on that
But
person. and everyone,
also, let's just
No,
look at
I'm
the
not
title.
blaming
The
them.
title is He's Just Not That Into You. So the movie is supposed to piss off women immediately, or gay guys.
He's saying
He's
the
just
same.
not that into you. It's supposed to make you mad, and then it's a movie about men not acting right, and it's just like
Okay.
As a man watching that, I'm like, oh, okay, we're the bad guys.
Were any of them acting right? I'm trying to think. I don't
Drew
think any of them-
Barrymore. Drew Barrymore was acting right, and she had the
No,
best
she was being messy.
monologue.
She was giving bad advice.
Oh, she gave one bad advice.
One, everything that came out of her mouth was trash.
That's my main, or not concern, but like beef with the movie is, like, we all have delusional friends. We all have safe spaces to be delusional, but you should not listen to your delusional friends, and you should not have them be involved in your relationship.
It's so hard to not listen to your delusional friends, though.
I know.
Especially if they're telling you what you want to hear. Like, no, girl, he likes you for sure. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Wait,
Actually, yeah, I think he
wait.
does.
Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So y'all have delusional friends, and you
I'm
listen
always-
to them.
No.
Well, Michael's
You listen to
apparently
your
you.
delusional-
I don't.
You said it's very hard not to, though.
This is women. Whenever
so
I
women-
females.
Whenever I've had women,
is
whenever I've
females.
had a woman get mad at me, we're talking about it, and then it comes out that she was talking to her friends, and
Yes.
they got her all riled up, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him," and marches over to me,
That's so interesting.
and now it's
'cause
like,
I've had,
I'm
I've
like,
had
whoa,
that
whoa.
experience with you, Michael.
and then I have to like explain it.
I've had the experience with you, Michael. I feel like every time you disagree with me or something, because I was talking to so and so, I'm like, all right, well, all right then.
We're talking about when you asked me to not wear a shirt to the premiere.
I'm talking about a number
When
of
you
things.
asked me-
But I just wanted to use that example. I feel like
I'm not in your guys' beef.
Or was that when you told me to come at 10:15 today?
Oh
You showed
my
up at
god.
10:40.
And were you ready at 10:40? Look, let's not get into. Okay, back on track. Getting sidetracked.
I'm not getting into this.
Okay, so
But
wait.
like what I'm saying is Gigi is kind of doing her delusional girl thing of like, why is this going wrong? Blah blah blah. Then Justin Long tells her, you're not the exception, you're the rule. And then she tells that to Jennifer Aniston and gets in her head, and she goes and breaks up with her man. I'm saying we can have these safe spaces to go really delusional, but we need to be grounded in our actions and not like don't act on the delusions. Like, let it out. Don't let it just sit there and create resentments. But sometimes, like, and don't have your friends, like, trigger you, and then you go and break up with your man, and you guys had a good thing going on.
Wait,
Can I talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so last episode we talked about how women are more emotional than men.
Well,
You're going to bring this up.
You talked about that.
I said their receptors are more open
Yeah.
than men, and it helps me get more in touch with my emotions being around women. So I love it.
Okay.
Now, when you get women together, what happened with Jennifer Aniston's situation in this movie?
You say that shit
She,
like when
she
men
was
get
she
together,
was
they be
not
fucking
she was
feeding
not
their
looking
bullshit.
at reality where her and Ben Affleck had this beautiful relationship. Didn't matter if there was a ring on it or if they were married at the title. They were happy together. They were happy.
No,
She
hold
even
on.
said, "We're happier than my married sisters."
She said that at the end, right? But at the start, she still wanted to be married.
Sure, she had this idea of like what it needed to look like, but if she looked at reality, like Ben Affleck was looking, it's like we're so happy together. Why do we need this
Yeah.
thing?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
And I
mean,
get what you're saying, too.
And then, but she went and talked to her friends, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
was
her
like
friends-
getting emotionally worked up,
Right.
and was not able to look just at what it really was.
No, and I agree, and I think a lot of that has to do with the programming for a lot of women, which is
Yeah.
I need to get married, right? Like that's something society has built up.
Yeah.
I know when I lived in Ohio, oh my god, that was literally every white woman's
Have you been to
freaking
Utah? Have you
life
been-
goal. Yeah, probably Utah.
Utah's
too.
crazy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the life goal
Yeah.
is to get married, and that was wild to me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I do not think, especially as a gay man, I don't be thinking about marriage
Yeah.
at all. So it's like, yeah, that was wild to me. Has it been your experience with you and your girls, or?
Well, no, I have a great group of like girlfriends and gays. Like I really live, my life does not have like straight men in it.
Right.
Like these are like going to be the deepest conversations I've had with
With
a
a
straight
straight
guy.
man?
And what do you think so far?
I like it. It's great. It's opening up my
So not
mind.
all straight men are trash.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that neither.
You always say men are trash.
No, men are trash, and it's true.
It's
But like
good
you
to
know,
keep it
I
but
there.
don't
this
think
is
men
about
are trash.
exceptions to the rule, right?
I don't think men
Like,
are trash. I think people are good and bad. People are human. And so
absolutely,
you got
but
good
men
and
are
bad
like, I
women
think
and
it's-
men.
I just think it's a universal.
I just keep you there, and then you can prove your way. Like,
But you know,
better.
you have to remember, right? When we're thinking about society and patriarchy,
Yeah.
like men are, it's by design. Y'all
Historically
are programmed, and me too, right? We're programmed to.
Yeah, it's
act
not
a certain way.
individuals. Individuals can be good and bad,
Right.
but societally, in the gender norms and
Yeah.
the patriarchy, yeah, it's like the conditioning that we're all trying to
Mm-hmm.
get out of is bad.
I feel like just that mindset alone is affecting your dating. If you're if you're
Absolutely.
thinking men are trash and you're going out into the dating world looking for a man, it's a losing game. You're already
Okay,
playing.
so even if I wasn't, I didn't always think this way, and it was still a losing game. So what you want from me? Because that's my experience. That's my lived experience. It's the lived experience of most women.
Also,
and most
I
men.
have-
Did you already have that mindset?
No,
From the
because
beginning?
I was out
Okay.
here.
But
From the beginning,
I-
you were like, men are amazing. And then
I didn't say
life
that.
experiences were like, men are trash?
No, I was
Absolutely.
always like, I was the girl that was like Delulu, would have a crush, would be like obsessed with them, would think like,
He's the best.
he's the
such a good
best. He's
guy.
so good. Oh my god! And
So, I mean, he
Um,
is.
I say men are trash because of my experience.
Oh,
I just put you. I'm like neutral. I'm like, you can prove to me that you're not a piece of shit. Like you can do a little work
So
and
guilty
prove
until
to me.
proven innocent.
Literally, yeah.
Because the evidence is
I just
there.
feel
like
I'm more like, everyone is just a friend I haven't met yet. What's that
No,
saying?
see,
like
I need you-
there's
Yeah,
no such
but
thing as
we-
strangers.
but-
you know,
but
like
you,
No.
I think needs to be a little more
that's
guarded.
the moment.
and
in
if
you.
they
That's the moment.
no, if they do something that is not
yeah, see,
good
I
with
don't
me,
have
then
I don't
they're
have
out,
the
but-
patience anymore.
and we don't
to,
have the fucking luxury either. Like, honestly, I think that's a lot of privilege that you have, that you haven't had this experience of dealing with men in this way, right? And
Yeah.
so you have the luxury of having that sort of perspective. For me, that's
I
what
mean,
it
I've
feels
had
like for me.
shitty friends
Yeah, but like,
who are men, but I've had amazing
Are you
friends.
fucking
I have
them?
amazing friends who are men.
but are you fucking them?
No.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
it's
it's a different
different.
story.
How
It's
does
a
that
different-
change?
It
someone?
changes it.
Are you kidding me?
It
changes
does.
everything.
If they're a good or bad
You
person,
like try to
I
get to
think-
know people
I
when.
think, so catching feelings, and then that not being reciprocated. That's why they're trash.
No,
wait, sorry, I take
no.
that back. You're right. It's not just you're right. It's not just out of, it's not just if you're hooking up with them, but in general, right? Men aren't as thoughtful. They're not as intentional. They're not as responsible as women, right? If you think of, be honest with me, when you think of all the women in your life versus the men, who is the backbone? Who's more responsible? Who's more intentional? More thoughtful?
Who keeps things together?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
women.
men are trash.
Women.
No, I'm kidding. But come
I
on now,
think
that
it's
we're
more
not women.
so how much labor is on women.
Mm-hmm.
And like how much emotional labor, how much do women keep things together? Like they're like or at least in our community, I think is
Mm-hmm.
the fabric of our community. And the men are cool too, but I just don't think that they're doing as much work. I think now our generation
I think
is.
that's sad. I think that's one of the problems with how we treat men. There's not any leniency for men and their mental health.
No.
And what they're going through, and like,
Oh my
you're
God.
depressed.
Is there
Like, stop being a
leniency
little
for
bitch. It's like,
women? Is there leniency for women?
oh my
Also?
God, yes.
No.
Women can cry,
You
and
just
it's
called them
fine.
emotional
A man
for
cries,
being there.
and all of a sudden it's like, oh man,
I love when
I don't
men
know about this
cry.
guy.
That is like, I would like immediately fuck a man if he cried in front of me. I
That
swear to God.
Okay,
is
we're moving into
probably one
like.
of-
No, I just think that's hot.
But sorry. I
Back to
wasn't
the
saying
movie.
that to
If,
you.
if
Oh,
you want
okay.
to take it back to the movie, the men get no like leniency, but like Scarlett Johansson's out here doing the same thing that what's his face is doing.
No, but I would argue like they.
She's like, I'm down to. You're married? Okay, let's fuck.
I relate to her a lot. I don't think that she's making a good decision. And I'm not saying that women can't do bad things. Women do bad things. And I support women's rights and their wrongs.
Why can't men get that support?
They can, and I agree that they should have open
For their-
space to be vulnerable, and we don't talk about that, and they aren't vulnerable, and I really do think we need to fix some things for men, for our society to grow, but not at the expense of women.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
of
women are
course,
trash
of
in this
course
film
not.
too. To
Yeah,
be
at
clear.
nobody's expense.
Yeah, and the women are trash in this film.
And let me
Okay.
just say, like
Okay.
everybody's.
all I'm saying is men are doing things that men do. I don't like the reactions of these women in this film, because if these were my friends, I would be like, love yourself.
Yeah.
You need to respect
Yeah.
yourself. You're not doing that in this situation. And I understand it's a rom-com and all of them need to have like happy endings
Yo,
and stuff.
And drama.
But to be fair, right, the men, like you've got Justin Long, right? At the end, he turns it around, and like you end up liking him, right? You end up liking Ben Affleck, like
Yeah.
he's doing the dishes,
Yes.
woohoo, like yeah, he's doing the dishes. But like
He
you
showed
know,
up.
I don't feel like it was like one-sided with the guys, right? But you know, the title for sure it is to get a reaction
Mm-hmm.
or that. But to your point about men not being able to cry and shit, it's the patriarchy too, you know. And I don't want to sound like a white woman or nothing.
No,
but
but
it really
you're
it comes back to
affected
men.
by the patriarchy just as much as women are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are gender roles that we're put into that we're not allowed to break out of, which means men need to, like, that it's a weakness to be vulnerable. That's the patriarchy telling you have to be strong for us.
Okay, so but we're perpetuating that by saying like, oh, men are trash, not giving them any leniency. Like this person might need some mental help.
No, yeah.
Or this
I don't think
person-
anyone in this movie needs mental help. I think they're being
Or some therapy,
GG.
or however.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wanna,
therapy.
I would say everybody needs therapy, but I say men are trash because, again, my experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that I don't experience that from women like that, right? And most people in my life don't experience that. And again, it goes. I make that generalization, but it goes back to like there are exceptions to the rule, but that's how it is.
Not
It's
to,
the ghetto.
but
Dating
I
men is the
also
ghetto.
I also think there's a lot of women that have a lot of internalized misogyny that they
Yeah.
need to figure out as well. It's all fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that I support women in this debate. Obviously, I'm on the side of
But wait,
men are
humanity's ghetto.
trash. Honestly, because it's such a triggering movie, and I think
Right.
that it's so still relevant, and they could make one today.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it.
She really liked it. So
I
she was-
did. I was like, I mean, we're
like
talking about
gushing,
it. It made us like debate.
So she's gushing.
I would
or
say
what?
like it's like a little waterfall,
All right.
like a little trickling waterfall.
I think as far as relevancy
Humidity.
as well, like I think,
Yeah, it's relevant.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think for that alone, I'll give it. I'm a little damp. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also like an anti rom-com to me.
Yeah.
Like it's a different one. You like it?
Yeah. Didn't really seem very rom-com. I thought it was like an October night, like evening. It was
Wait,
like
what? In
dry?
Hawaii or like?
no, in Utah again.
Dry.
Yeah, that was
Utah.
immediately where mine went. It's getting cold.
Salt Lake City,
Yeah,
October
I
night.
can see my breath.
You see his breath.
You
All right.
didn't like it.
I appreciated it for what it was, and
Okay.
I was just kind of laughing at the situations. Like, okay, I get what they're doing. They're trying to piss people off,
Yeah.
and draw this narrative that men are all, just bad dudes. But I wouldn't watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Last thing I'm gonna say is I used to think fucking Bradley, what's his name again?
Cooper.
I used to think Bradley Cooper was so hot, and now watch it, I'm like, he is not. Sorry, Bradley Cooper.
You
I had to
didn't think
meet
he
him
was
once, and
hot?
he was actually really sweet, but yeah, I'm just like, damn, I do not find him attractive at all. That's the
he was-
deprogramming though
yeah,
that works
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, sorry. You were
He
saying-
also blamed his cheating on the illegal immigrants doing the renovation
Oh,
in his
he did.
house. And then
Well, not the cheating, the
and then the smoking, and then
we
but
didn't call
that
them
was
illegal, by the way. We call them.
no, I know, but like that's what he was meaning. He said
You've been hanging around
undocumented
Michael too long
immigrants.
because we don't.
No,
call them
I'm
illegal.
saying
Is it
like
because
that's what
they're
they
men?
meant. He said, "Oh my god!" But then he turned his wife into a Karen because she's yelling at them.
Well, she tuned us out.
He says
Yeah.
undocumented in it, but it felt like illegal.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying
I'm
that.
fucking. I'm fucking with you too.
He's trying
but
to cancel. I'm gonna be the one that gets canceled on this podcast, not
wait.
the men.
Okay, so moving into what's wrong with me. So our overarching goal today is what does healthy communication look like to you? So I know I'm somebody who's very upfront, and I try to be as direct as possible. I don't like to make any assumptions because this movie throughout, like
Yeah.
they like, and not to say I'm not guilty of making up narratives in my head, but when I can click when I'm starting to do that, and so that's
Yeah.
when I start to check myself, and I like to ask questions rather than make assumptions, and people don't like that. Like I've found that men don't like my level of communication. It actually turns a lot of men off.
Too direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you go about it?
Like, how y'all said my dating profile was just very like upfront, very direct.
Yeah.
I'm like that when I'm talking to men too, right? I'm like, I will sit down and I'll be like, yo, so one, like, are you in a relationship?
This is on the first meeting.
Yeah, I want to establish, are you because I'm not trying to be in an open relationship or nothing. So I want to know right now, are you with someone? Because if you are, that's off the table. I'm not trying to do that, right? I want to know, are you interested in a relationship, a long-term relationship? If you're not, then I don't want to fuck with it, And so I'm asking these questions up front
Yeah.
because I don't want to spend weeks getting to know this person only to find it out later down the line, right? Like, are you open to having a family? If they like, I find this out a month in, like, what the fuck did I spend all this time doing? All this legwork for? I'm not trying to waste either of our time. So that, yeah,
Yeah.
as far as my communication goes. And I'm also somebody who, when something upsets me, I have to express it in the moment so that
Immediately.
I don't hold
You don't
resentment.
have a 48-hour rule.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just let me express this
Yeah.
now, and then I can let it go, and then we're done with it, and then we can kind of move on. And a lot of people don't like that either because they're not used to it.
Yeah, I get that. I'm thinking of your dating profile and what you want, and your impatience. And I wonder if you could just try to be patient and try to
Be in the moment.
be in the moment and spread out that directness. Don't be less direct, just maybe not upon first visit. Like, give people breathing room.
Like
Let people
maybe see
get
that you're
used
not
to you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Wow! Wow!
Maybe try that.
Wait, what is the fear? Like, what is? I mean,
I think it's great that you're direct, but I mean, my bestie Sean, he's gay. He has tried to be direct, and it is off-putting to people. And not even direct, like I think it's also hard now. People don't know how to communicate clearly and don't know how to receive it, and they only receive direct communication as confrontation.
That's how it comes up. Like, people get defensive. Like,
Yes,
'cause they're
immediately
feeling attacked.
defensive instead of just having like conversation.
Yeah.
So, but I think for you specifically, like adding some vulnerability into your dating profile, also spreading it out, letting it breathe.
Yeah, I
3
get that.
weeks is not gonna, like, say it's like 3 weeks. 3 weeks is not gonna waste your time. You're learning from things. You can't look at things as wastes of your time. Some
Okay,
guys,
come on
yeah,
now.
not like 3 months, yes.
Yeah.
But like if it's somebody you have a genuine connection with, let it breathe.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks of somebody that you felt a genuine connection to is not a waste of time. Even if you don't like that person, you know that the next person, I don't want that. You learned from it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like taking reps. Like, even if I'm not sure I'm going to date someone for sure, I still like connecting with them, talking with them. I learn something from them.
Yeah, okay,
So, but
again,
if you're treating like the first interaction like a job interview,
Yeah.
and you're just looking for like, give me one motherfucking reason to kick you out of here, I swear to God.
Yeah, you're looking
Like, what do you got?
You're
What's wrong with
looking
you?
for it.
And like the second they say something wrong, you're like, fuck this guy. You know,
Yeah.
like then like how are you ever gonna get to know somebody? Because no one's perfect. No one can show up and
absolutely.
just please everything that you're looking for.
absolutely, but again, I have space for people's flaws. I really do.
Yeah.
But there's just certain things I need to know up front, like,
Yeah.
before I don't. Yeah. And I get it, but like also like going out with people, that's time. Like, do you know how busy my fucking
Yeah.
days are? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend fucking 2 hours 3 times, to have to get to that point. I'm just like, yo, that's why I want to FaceTime, see if we click first. Then
Yeah.
I'll consider getting off my couch, because I love watching my stories and my downtime. Like my home time is precious to me. I want to be talking to my family. I want to be watching my stories. If I'm coming out to meet you, like there needs to be at least a connection at that point. And then once we meet, I'm gonna continue to see you. I need to know that I'm not fucking, it just has to be worth it for me. I think that's where I'm at. And again, I'm fucking 40. Like I've been out here. I have in fucking different countries and different cities. Like I've gotten to the point where I just have little patience for shit. I've turned into my mother basically. I really have no patience for any kind of bullshit. So
Yeah,
that's
I
where
get
I'm at.
that.
But I think that is what will help you get into a healthy relationship is getting softer.
I'm soft.
Like
Wait.
Around
just
us, your
listen,
friends,
just listen to what I'm saying.
and the
Yeah.
women around you, we know that.
Yeah.
But
if you're so just like I've been around, like I understand everybody, like men are shit. Like
I've already
it's so
made
hard,
a
dude.
judgment.
Like in the dating world, like especially when you get into a relationship, there's gonna be so many fights. There's gonna be so many disagreements. The softness is what helps you stay with someone.
plus that's the charming part about you.
But the softness, that not everybody's entitled to my softness.
I
is what I'm saying.
totally
not
understand
everybody
that.
gets access to that.
Yeah.
If I really care about someone, yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta, but like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't give
get
it
that.
to even friends. Like, I don't
No, I
give that
know.
to just anybody. Like, I develop, like,
Yeah.
we have to connect on a certain level before that.
Yeah.
Y'all are my friends because we had a connection.
Yeah.
But it's the same with men. Like, if I don't fucking see that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I see you hold certain values, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm
messing with
the
it.
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
But I'm like not direct. I'm very direct with friends, with my girlfriends, with like Sean, who's like my husband. But with men and men that I've slept with, I have zero boundaries sometimes, and I don't know how to assert the directness. It like goes away. My mom's always like, "You have like no boundaries with men."
Why is that?
Because for a long time I was just acting like the cool girl. Oh, I'm not the one that's crazy. I'm just cool, whatever. Which allows men to treat me and do whatever they want. And that's like something
Put it
that
wherever they want. Like, just.
yeah, yeah.
No, sorry, but no.
And then, so now I'm trying not to. I don't want to be the cool. I'm not cool. I'm not casual. I am direct and honest and if that is deemed crazy to you, then that's you and you don't know how to communicate. But I'm trying to get on the level of like how I show up with my friends, with men, because that's not what I've done in the past. And it obviously doesn't work because I'm not being myself. And I'm not telling them my needs and even having a conversation of like, can you meet that? So I'm being crazy with my friends. I'm being a little GG-ish, but I'm not acting on it.
But see, here's the thing though, Tia. Like when you talk about being crazy, like being delusional and stuff, like, you're playing. Like with me, like I know you know what's up. Like, you know, you might say these things, but you actually know what's up. Like you're not really, like you're not really delusional. Like
no,
you'll talk out, you'll speak out the ridiculousness.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I will literally like see a guy and be like, I'm marrying him.
Yeah, and I know you're fucking around. Yeah,
I'm not true.
It's funny.
Like I'm not doing that. Yes, I'm having I'll have a crush, but I'd rather be like with my girlfriends hanging out than dealing with men. Like sometimes I think like, oh, I've never been in a relationship, like I'm missing out on something, and then I hear one of my friends like, or somebody's like situation and relationship, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm so glad that I didn't. I'm not going through that right now. I sometimes think that stating my needs is crazy, and that's even just in general, asking for help, not being hyper independent, and like just asking for my needs to be met. That felt crazy to me.
Can you state your needs with the women in your life?
Yeah. Absolutely, because they're always there for me. I can with my friend Sean. But again, my circle is so tight. And even in that circle, it's hard for me to like say, I like allow people to do it. It's a control thing. I'm a little bit like you, where it's like, I want to be in charge of everything. Like I'd rather just do everything. And so in my life, learning how to not be that hyper independent person. I was raised by a single mom who was 25 when she got a divorce. Like I don't think I need men in my life, which has gotten me to places being a girl boss and being successful. But like now in my older age, I'm like, no, I need to learn how to like need somebody and rely on them and want them.
I just listened to someone talking about the difference between being independent and non-dependent. Like independent is great. Like it's good to be independent, but if you're like strictly non-dependent, then you're closing yourself off to having that human connection with loved ones, and because it is a team. Like there's nothing I've accomplished in life that hasn't been because of people around me. Like this whole idea that I can do it myself, that's not actually true. Like we all really rely on the people around us, and the more closer and dependent you can get with someone and have that relationship, I think the better off. That's why I think that's why we all ultimately want a relationship.
Well,
a healthy relationship.
Yeah, when I think about it, I think of like even my friendships and my family, like they're partnerships, right? Where there's a balance. Like you know, you're not. No, I know it's all semantics, like language and stuff, but like we can count on each other rather than we depend on each other. You know, but I think for me, I do really turn to my loved ones for help, and I'm okay with that. But there's some things you just can't trust.
That's where
I'm at with a lot of shit.
Yes. I'm the same way too. I'm like,
you like things a very certain way, and I'm like, I can't.
Same. And I'm the same as like, I also like am at a point in my life where my life is so full of people, and you're saying this too. Like I have shit going on, and I have people to like be with. My day could be full of seeing everybody, and it's full, and I'm happy. So anybody that comes into my life has to be an addition. If you're subtracting it at all, I can't have you in my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm really satisfied. That's why I'm finally at a point where I'm like, I could be in a relationship. I need to get some things settled and be a little bit more stable. But
but spiritually, mentally, you're there.
Yes.
We talked about this the other night.
Yeah. And where I can be, I feel grounded and enough where I can open my mind up before, like, to having a relationship and understanding where they would fit.
Yeah, Michael, how would you describe your communication style?
I feel like I'm a good communicator, and I've become a better communicator as I've gotten older, as I've had more dating experiences, and so many experiences where I was a very shitty communicator or hid my true feelings out of fear of like offending. And so I've just slowly learned through the years and through the experiences of how to communicate well, and having relationships with women who were incredible communicators, who like sat me in those uncomfortable situations and we talked through it, and I was like, oh, okay, this actually feels really good to say what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And okay, you see me, and you still like me. Okay, all right, wow, this feels
without
amazing.
it being confrontation
Yes.
or a fight.
No,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
turn on
nice.
for me when a guy can fucking talk through shit. They can let go of stuff and they can move forward, you know, and then we can just kind of continue, and they can take accountability for the shit. There's one guy, oh my god, he's so intelligent. I find his mind beautiful. I love his creativity, how he moves in the world. I find all of that just really attractive and appealing. But he can't take accountability. Like when we get into things, and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. I was really excited to see you, and I just wanted to experience you the way that I wanted to, you know. And I wasn't thinking of you during this time. Nothing from him, like not ever. And I'm just like, yo, something's wrong when I'm the only one apologizing and taking the blame for everything that's going on, you know. And I think that's why I play house with him sometimes when I go around and stuff. But that's why I don't think it'll ever fucking work out, because that to me is just like, oh damn. And one thing this motherfucker said to me,
The empanadas.
no, the empanada, we went out to eat, and he was like, do you want a bite? And I went to take a bite. He's like, no, not there, around there. And I was like, boy, you were eating my ass last night, and you worried about me fucking taking a bite from the same spot as you?
I've
Like,
always
are you
wondered that
fucking kidding me?
with people I'm hooking up with, like, why didn't we not share a toothbrush? Who cares?
That's
Well, okay, now that's different.
That is
Yeah,
disgusting.
I'm not saying regularly. I'm saying like one of us needs a toothbrush.
Yeah, but I'm not
eating eyes
brushing
like that,
my
by the way, but-
teeth with your dick.
So, so you're gonna go not brushing your
That's
teeth
different.
But that's like,
when there's a
okay.
perfectly good toothbrush in the bathroom?
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, some people got like halitosis and shit. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
hot
need
water,
that.
rinse it off.
No, that does not.
Hot
I
water?
need
You
I
were
need
just
to,
you just had your mouth in their mouth. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I'm not
No, but
scrubbing
teeth,
your
like-
teeth.
toothbrushes
with
go
my
into
tongue.
the crevice, like it be picking up all
Red
sorts
flag. Red flag. We wouldn't work. It's giving.
Because you couldn't use my toothbrush?
Ooh, I'm concerned for Michael's hygiene at this point. I need to throw out my toothbrush because you was just at my crib. Like,
We're using his
Yeah,
toothbrush?
I use this toothbrush.
You know what? Fuck. No, I'm literally throwing this shit out. I
I'm
don't
just
even care if you're
playing, I'm
joking or not. I don't care if you're
Of
joking
course
or not,
I'm
Michael,
joking.
throwing this shit out.
You think I want Crit's mouth in my mouth?
Oh,
You would be
so-
blessed.
You should be. So
You should be
fucking
Like
honored.
1,000 mouths.
We're not slut shaming. We're not slut shaming.
Bitch, you fuck.
Okay, let's transition. This is
HR,
going off the
HR.
My bad.
Are you a ghoster? Do you ghost people?
Or did you? 'Cause
Or
I
did you?
I have ghosted.
Can I just need to know the mentality there. Why? Was it a mutual thing?
I've never ghosted someone that I was like full on dating. There's always a conversation in those situations. But if it's like we're kind of just hooking up,
It's typically when it happens, though, right?
And-
It's the early
Yeah.
stages.
yeah, then it kind of just fizzles out.
But do you think it's like a mutual ghost? Like,
We know
What's
the
a
answer to
mutual
that. Yeah.
ghost?
No.
Yeah,
See,
a
that's
ghosting
that's
is one
That's
way.
a fuckboy answer right there.
Go-
What's a
go-
mutual ghost?
no, ghosting is
you
one
get what
way.
I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Like both people are just not. We're not
Oh, okay.
texting each other, so
Wait.
we're both kind of. It's over. It's fizzled out.
That's not a ghost.
That's
That's not ghosting somebody.
Yeah,
to me.
that's not a ghost.
Okay, but somebody double texting you and you're not texting them back.
No, I'll usually in a situation like that, I'll usually respond.
Okay.
Now, for sure.
But in the past, though, when you have ghosted someone, what's the mentality behind it? Is it just I don't really care? Like,
Actually, no. Even in the past, I don't know. I'm nice, and I like people that I hang out with. So
you've never ghosted someone. You've never like.
I'm sure I have, and just like unintentionally didn't respond because I didn't know what to say.
And you know what?
Oh, okay.
I think that's
Okay.
I think that's really what it comes down to. They
don't know
really
what
don't
to
care.
s-
They're not invested. They don't. That's why it's not even a thought to you, right? It's because
Yeah.
for you, it's like.
But I was never like, oh,
I don't think it's
unless
even
someone
malicious,
wronged
yeah.
me. Unless someone wronged me, like I'm never like, oh, like I want to text this person back. Ugh.
Right.
If
This is the problem because guys are just like whatever,
Yeah.
and
It's
women
not
are
malicious,
like,
it's just
what the
right.
fuck? Why did you do that? Well, because I
get
just got
that a
ghosted.
lot because I'm not a great texter, and so I'll have girls like, you suck at texting.
Yeah, and then they're
And I'll be like,
seeing
I'm
you
so
posting
sorry, like,
stories.
let's talk. Come over.
Yeah. Then
No,
they're
okay,
seeing
so-
the gym selfies.
I get that though. No,
But
Yeah,
not a
they see
text
me on
back.
social media. They're like, "Wow, he's on his phone," and I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
I
that
don't.
is some bullshit though.
I
would say
told
get
him
fucked
I
up with
told
that.
him that like he should at least react to the text message.
Yeah.
Like, even if
At
you don't
least
have
do
a
a little
response.
I've been told
exclamation
that.
mark.
I've been told that by another girl. It's like, at least just like let me know you saw it. I was like, oh, that to me that seems worse.
No,
Like,
not at all.
To
'Cause at
heart
least
it
it's
and then
like-
not respond to
No,
it.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me,
I'm
like,
doing
I
the
understand
God's
people are
work
busy and
here.
shit. And, you know, if I see on social media, if it's like work related or something, I'm like, okay, they fucking working, they're busy, whatever. For me, it's if like we've made plans or something, you know, like, hey, let's get dinner on Friday or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Thursday, hey, just checking in, and I'm not hearing nothing. Like, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, we about to fight, cause, or like,
Yeah.
just fuck you, I'm done. Like, that's
Yeah, and
whatever.
I'm the guy that's like, Friday comes around, I'm like 8 o'clock. All right, let's go. And it's like
You're the guy
we
who
haven't
booked
heard.
your
I haven't
flight.
heard from you.
Yeah, you're the
And
guy
I'm
who
like,
booked your flight.
But we planned Friday 8 o'clock. What?
No, because okay, yeah.
I've gotten better because I've had those experiences.
Right.
I've gotten better. Like now I understand. Yes, of course. Let's like make sure there's establishing a connection between us before we hang out.
But I think
Like-
it really goes down to they don't care, so they don't have that
I don't
consideration.
even think it's like a care thing or
Yeah.
a consider. I think it's not even as serious as that. It's literally they're just like not thinking about it, or they're.
That's the
it's
same thing
just,
to me. Yeah.
Oh, you know, like I feel like they don't care is like loaded.
Oh,
Of
it's like I
fuck you.
Yeah.
Whereas like they're literally like not thinking. I have to actively be like, what men are saying to me is what men are saying, and not think deeper than that.
like
'Cause they're-
indifferent. Like you prefer the word indifferent. Like, you're just like
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
or they're doing their thing, and if they don't text back, they're not interested. That's where I'm at. They're not interested. I'm not thinking about it.
yeah.
Unless you're a certain level of hotness and it took you a really long time to text me back. And then maybe I can accept it. But I take like no response is not interested. What they say to you as what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because I've spent so many times being like, what does this mean? What does this text message mean? It literally means what it says on the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is a work in progress.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to add that, you know, for me too, right? Like, I get if someone's a shit texter, so it's like,
Yeah.
how do you prefer to communicate, right? And that's all
Yes.
part of communicating too, is
Yeah.
like understanding each other and getting to know. And that's part of getting to know each other is understanding how the other person receives and also, you know, like gives communication.
What
and so-
annoys me is when people try to people please with me and are matching my communication style or are like
and they can't keep it up, or
their actions do not match up with their words. I'm very much that person of like, well, I see that you're
real.
saying this right now. Like the last guy that ghosted me and like left the state, we were communicating. What he was saying was different than what was happening, and he was like, "Okay, you come back. We'll
that's
go on
just
a
a straight up
date."
liar. That's good.
It's lying. Yeah.
If someone's just people pleasing, then they're fake.
Yes.
Yeah.
People pleasing, like I used to be such a people pleaser. People pleasing is manipulation. It's lying.
Right, but I don't think that guy's trying to people please. Well, I mean, it's people
No.
pleasing, but it's more game. Like, he's trying to get one over. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to get what he wants.
Yeah, that was a whole that situation was stupid and it threw me, but
Yeah.
Which by the way, I think that's weak game. Because I used to do that.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
you people please. You're not being super authentic.
Yeah.
But just trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, I mean,
that's weak game. Like if you're like really with it, like then.
But if they get what they
you're like,
want,
this
right?
is this is
that's
exactly who
game.
I am.
Game to me is like you.
yeah,
you get,
he
you're,
did.
You're
He
getting
did.
what you want out of
he
it.
did get it. And my mom had to be like, I was talking to her about it. She was like, he's getting a lot, you're getting a little.
Yeah.
And
That
I was
to
like,
me is like, oh shit.
yeah. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? He's getting an unfollow.
But I get what you're saying though. That's very. When we're talking about game, that's very low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
I'm trying not to date those men
Yeah.
anymore.
All right, so basically, y'all are poor communicators. I'm really good at it.
Oh my god.
And
I actually think that Michael's good at it. I'm really bad at it. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I think he
I
is
think I'm
for
the
a straight
best
guy.
here.
Okay. I don't think that you're the best here. I'm the worst here, and I will take that.
I think I'm the Michael Jordan. Like if we were the Bulls, like I'm Jordan.
Okay. He's
Tia might
think-
be Pippen.
No, I think Tia's great at communicating. I think Michael. No, and from our conversations, I think you are more intentional than most men. I'll give you that.
You know who you are?
Who am I?
Meta World Peace.
¿Qué pasa?
Run our test.
Totally different team.
What was that?
But no,
and
but
time
I thought we
period,
were talking
but
about goats.
basketball.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Don't talk to me like that. I know about basketball.
No, like he looks like Meta World Peace?
No, didn't he start a brawl?
Who was Meta World Peace?
Okay, Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
Wow.
We're staying on
Very
the
confrontational. Yeah, kind of wild.
Wow,
Yeah.
you just like,
You actually
let me
are.
pick,
Let me pick
Dennis
a queer
Rodman,
basketball
Scottie
player.
Pippen.
Michael Jordan.
We can't
People used
find.
to say my brother looked like Scottie. Scottie Pippen's a little rough in the face, but my brother is. I think they do kind of look a little bit like.
Dennis Rodman also like went to Vegas and they couldn't find him because he was just
I met him in
partying.
Vegas.
Oh, he was just going off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman partied hard.
Yeah, but
I mean, you remember him on the
Married
PT?
himself.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
let's
Sorry.
move on. We're gonna move on to our next section, which is called Thirst Buckets, where we read comments from Thirst Buckets that we've engaged with on whether it's social media or on the apps. And so let's read some of the comments that we've received over the last month or so. Tia, let's start with you.
I don't get these. Can I start with that? I don't get a lot of thirsty comments or DMs, and I would open up my DMs. If you would like to be thirsty at me, please do. No dick pics, no unsolicited dick pics.
So dick pics, but
not unsolicited.
Right.
And yeah, my DMs are open, boys. But also like maybe look in the mirror first and think, would she respond to me before? Be respectful in that way.
Like as in the shape of it, or like what do you mean?
No, I don't want dick pics. I want you to thirst over me in my DMs.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, do you want to make sure in the mirror it looks like a certain?
No,
like,
I'm saying like be fucking for real. Do you think I would date you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your thirstiest comment of the week?
Of the week, so this is, keep this in mind. This is like on a very personal post that I posted, and should I read out the name? No, I won't read out the name, but it basically takes "Sup, I'm a whore. How are you?" Like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
what sort of
did see
response?
that.
No, but what sort of response do you want from that? "Sup, I'm a whore. How are you?" Like,
You know what you should respond? This was a family event.
right,
Something like that.
right, ma'am. This is a
Or
Wendy's.
just HR.
HR, exactly.
HR.
No, that's what I mean. I say
HR.
All right, Michael, what's yours?
Well, I can't really articulate it, but I just thought it was so creative. It was just a bunch of punctuation marks showing an image, like a sexual image
Of a
punani.
Punani? What? You call me fucking wild? Punani? A snatch?
Yeah, a snatch? Snatch is way more crude than punani.
Yeah, snatch is bad.
Punani is like a beautiful
HR.
word. Punani is a beautiful
Oh my
word.
God. Oh.
Man, why you anyway,
Anyway, that wraps up our episode.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta call HR for real. No, but thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.